Let's see how we can use the cache API in JavaScript. We're going to fetch some sample user data and then save it in the browser so it doesn't need to be requested again. In our getSampleData function, we can use caches.match and provide the name of the endpoint for the user data. In this case, it's going to be users.json. Then once we've accessed the cache, we can use this callback to get the response from the cache. If we have one, that means the data has already been cached, and we can just resolve the promise and return the JSON. If not, we'll have to fetch the data like so, and get the JSON from there. If we get an error out of this, we'll update the status message, and I'll create a showStatus function to do this. And if we do get the JSON file correctly, we'll want to add that into the cache. To do this, we have to open a cache and give it a name. Then once we have access to that, we'll put the response into the cache with one line of code, and then resolve this promise with the JSON. The reason I'm using a clone of this response is because once we've read the response once, it'll return an error when we read it again on this line, so cloning the response will prevent this. Let's call this function in a click event handler I made down here, and console log the result for now. Let's test it out. We can check to see what's in the cache using DevTools, and as you can see there's nothing here at the moment. If I click on load sample data, we can see the data in the console. The cache has been loaded with the JSON object, and if we look at the network tab, the request was successfully made to users.json. If I refresh the page and click on the button again, we can see the data in the console, but this time no second request was made, as the data was instead retrieved from the cache. Be sure to watch the full video link below where we'll explore alternative ways to store data such as IndexedDB and the Web Storage API. And to see more content like this, be sure to like and subscribe.